Just to do a quick introduction, ladies and gentlemen, Black Fridays, I want to bring different Black talent to you in all different professions, from all different walks of life, just to spotlight a lot of the wonderful people that I had a chance to work with and had a chance to do business with, and just bring and learn so you all can learn more about them, because I know about them, and I definitely had the pleasure of meeting and working with Cirea over the summer. Met her when I started working on her website, and she don't feel this way, but she's one of my favorite clients because of the fact that I see how passionate she is about her stuff. She has amazing products. She does great work, and people love the stuff that she does. And so definitely she was on my short list of people to have on here. So I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna let her tell y'all about herself, but I would like to introduce to y'all Miss Cirea Strode.
Thank you so much for the introduction. I am so honored to even be a part of something like this and of this magnitude, especially for young African-American, Black-owned businesses. It's become such a big movement right now within our generation and the culture. And so it's just such a great idea and inspiration that you are even opening this platform for us to come and talk about our items and what we're doing. So I am so appreciative for you.
Absolutely. And the feeling is mutual. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, tell us who Cirea is, and tell us all about Strode Creations.
So I actually started Strode Creations since the pandemic hit. I've always been very creative, very good with my hands. You can give me just about anything and I can create something. And so I started off with these photo explosion boxes, which I have one right here. And so I made one for a family member and they absolutely loved it. They posted it on Facebook, and then I just started getting all these hits like, you should make these, you should sell these, and you bring so much joy to people. I want one for my grandma, for my aunt. And so, I said, okay, I'm going to just try this thing out and, see, who bites and who likes it. And so it just became one of those things where I've always been passionate about creating, but I never really put myself on a platform to feel, comfortable and that confidence to say I'm going to create to sell. And so it just became one of those things within me where I was like, you know what, it's time for me to just jump out there and create things. And it's crazy because it just blew up so fast, like took off completely. So that's just a little bit of my backstory. I'm such a family-oriented person. My family definitely inspires me. And so just seeing, the love that people get when they get my products and with their families, it just encourages me to continue to do what I'm doing.
Absolutely. And you got some stuff there. I can't really see it, but could you bring it closer to the camera? Just because I want people
Sure.
really see the boxes and what they do.
So pretty much this is one of our photo explosion boxes. It's in this cute, cool little, thing that I have right now. But what it is when you open each lid or each top, it kind of unpeels the layers. So there's photos, there's words, there's all these creative things in the box. And I do gender reveal, birthday, anniversary, memory box for that lost loved one. And so, you can do it for any occasion that you have or that you want to give something to someone. Father's Day this year went crazy. I know Mother's Day is going to go crazy. This is actually a gender reveal one. So I do those. And lately, more often, I've been trying to dibble and dabble into some other things. So I've even started doing these letters. They're customized. You can, upload all your photos to my site, thanks to Denzell. And then we customize this for you. So this is actually, it can go on your daughter's or your son's room. It can be at a baby shower. I do the big giant ones as well. They're on my site. I don't have any on hand. I also got into these acrylic signs. I do very big ones, but I have a small one here. It's just that acrylic sign, gender reveal, baby shower, announcement, anything, you name it. So I pretty much have a plethora of things, but I'm most known for the gender reveal boxes. I'm not sure if we went out. Oh, there we're back. But I'm most known for those gender reveal boxes. And then I do have the photo cube as well. I'm not really sure if people have seen this, but it's a photo cube and it's just 4 8x10s and it makes a cube and you can put like pictures and things like that.
Nice. Very nice.
Here.
Everybody, Cirea has all great stuff. Like it's all dope. It's all quality. So make sure you definitely head over to strodecreations.com and so you can be able to see more and see like detailed images and stuff like that. But what I was going to ask you, so I know that you said you had like you always kind of been like a creative person, but like what kind of like what was the turning point with you and Strode Creations? Like what kind of or what started it? Like did you make it for a family member or a friend? How did you start making nut creations?
I actually made it for a family member and it kind of took off from there. I've been creating things for a very long time. But it just, this year in general has been such a challenge with COVID and the pandemic and just staying in the house and staying put. And so I needed something to focus on and keep myself busy. I'm a busy person. You know that, but not everybody else knows that. I have 5,000 hats. I do work full time. I am a social worker. I do have a daughter. I do have a husband. I was working in ministry at my church, so I'm pretty busy all the time. And so when COVID hit and it was like, shut down, stay in the house, I needed something to keep me busy because I'm so used to going. And so it was the perfect opportunity for me to focus on my creations and to explore different avenues of what I can do. And so that was kind of the turning point for me.
Nice. And then what was I gonna ask? I done lost my question. But I will ask the people. We do this on Black Fridays. If you have a question for myself or Cirea at any point in time, definitely drop it in the chat, or you can ask the questions through the question section. And I just remember my question now. So in terms of you had mentioned like you're a social worker, you're full time. How do you feel like your professions with Strode Creations and then your work as a social worker, do you feel like they overlap at all, like in regards to like skills and abilities and things that you do, or do you use one to help you do the other, or is there no overlap at all?
I wouldn't say there's an overlap at all necessarily. I've always been business driven and motivated and professional. And a line of my work, I don't really talk too much detail about it because of the job that I do have. But I do go to court and I do make recommendations and I am a social worker. And so sometimes the minutia of that work is very hard. And it's very difficult. You have to be a strong, sound-minded person to deal with the things that I see every day. And so my personal business has become an outlet for me where it's not, I can disconnect. And I've been doing that work. I've been doing social work for a very long time. And so you have to be able to turn it off or it will literally eat you alive. You have to be very strong-minded. And so part of being a businesswoman and being a business owner is rolling with the punches and being up at night and having that drive to put something in front of you. So whether I'm doing my 8 to 5 and whether I'm doing Strode Creations, I'm still driven by something. I'm the type of person where I'm going to put my 110 in anything that I do. If I can't do that, then I'm not going to do it. So you don't half step anything. You know, if there's business owners out there, if there's somebody out there that's wanting to jump into this seat, I encourage you, definitely do it. Jump for your dreams. But you got to remember, it has to come with balance. You got to be confident and you got to put your 110 in. If you can't put your 110 in, people are only going to believe in your stuff if you believe in your stuff, if you have do it, if you have promote it, if you have do the product, you know, then people aren't going to want to buy it. And so that's the conversation that we don't have as Black people with other Black businesses. We watch people fail over and over because we're not encouraging one another and saying, hey, man, you got to be quality. You got to be on time. You know, you got to produce your best work. And so that's just a little bit of my tidbit.
Absolutely. And you had mentioned being confident, and I'm going to have Caleb on here, so he's going to keep you honest. Have you always been a confident person, or how did you instill that in yourself, especially like when it came to doing your own business?
I've been confident in certain areas. This jump right here, doing Strode Creations, was definitely, I was not at all as confident as I am. I'm growing every single day. So I'm always humbled by just being able to say who I am and what I'm doing. But it kind of comes and goes, honestly. When you put that first thing out there and you're trying to figure out, is people going to rock with me? Are they going to like what I'm doing? Am I really doing something to benefit the earth? That's my main goal. You know what I'm saying? We're all put in this world for a purpose and a reason. And so every day when I wake up, what is my purpose today? What is my reason today? And so that's where my confidence comes from. Because when you know what your purpose is, it's going to pour out of you, right? And so then you don't have to worry about, you know, not being confident. So, you know, that's just where that kind of comes from. But as a kid, I would say I've always been, you know, our family, and Caleb's probably still on here, he'll tell you they were hard on us. My family, they are not sugarcoating anything. If something isn't right, they're going to tell you. And so growing up, you have to be confident. You're going to get told the truth, you know?
Yeah. And that's huge. I think like just from the standpoint of, like you said, growing up and then people just keeping it all the way 100, whether you want to hear it or not. And then also just later in life, period, like with you working on your own thing and figuring out what's the best way to take that leap. And even though you didn't necessarily, like, you might have not been 100% there, like, look, I'm jumping out the window, I'm gonna go, but just having that faith to say, hey, look, I can do this. Like, I got it. Like, it's not as big of a deal as I'm making it, and I know I got to start somewhere. So I think that's crucial, for sure. And I was going to ask you, what's your favorite part about creating? So like you have a lot of different creations, and you know you always are involved in creative projects. But like, what is your favorite part about creating for Strode Creations? You still there? Did we lose Cirea?
Okay. So
Oh
for
no,
some reason, my screen
yeah.
is kind of continuously to timing out. So I'm just going to hang out a little bit closer.
Okay.
But for me, I think you asked me creating stuff and I'm sending it out to people. I'm creating it as if I'm creating it for my mom, you know, for my grandma, for my cousin. And so it's a joy to create. It's definitely challenging with the hats that I wear. Some days I am up and I set alarms, you guys. Like, I'll go to sleep, put my baby to sleep, put my family, get everything together, and I'll wake up at like 2 a.m. and I'll do boxes from like 2 to 6, like crazy. But that's my moment. That's my time. The world is sleeping and I'm up and I'm creative and I'm making things happen.
Nice. And you talk about like the fact that you have to wear so many different hats with the different things that you do, and then also being a family woman. Who would you say has like been a big help for you along the way?
I have a lot of great support. You know, I don't want to start name calling because sometimes you forget, and then you get that call later like, you didn't show me out. But I've had a whole lot of support. This is about to sound very cliche, but this is real. But God is definitely like the door opener of everything that I have. Like, I wouldn't have anything without him.
Of course.
And so that alone keeps me humble, keeps me grounded. But my family is definitely my motivating source. They share 50 million times. They post, they tag, they reshare. My grandma is like at the grocery store passing out business cards all the way in Detroit. I'm like, this is love. This is mad love. And so definitely my family, my friends, people that have been rocking with me. And some of those clients, they come back. Like, this one lady has gotten probably 7 boxes from me.
Oh wow.
She's had a lot of family, a lot of birthdays, and it was really sad. You know, she lost her mother and her sister, and I do the memory boxes. And so she got memory boxes made for each person that was a sibling left to her mom. And so, you know, it's just such a great joy to be able to, you know, give something.
Absolutely. And that's dope and amazing to always have a support system, no matter what it is that you're doing. Like whether if it's like you just trying to, um, whether you know you running a business or you just running your life and trying to hold your family down, you always got to have that support system. So that's crucial and amazing that you have people that you know care about you so much and just willing to, you know, it's almost like they care about you, they care about your business as much as you do, which is dope.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I got a couple questions for you from the crowd. The first
Okay.
question is, do you see yourself becoming a more personal things remembered?
More personal, like things to remember, or I'm sorry.
More like personalized version of things remembered.
I kind of steer away from, you know, putting myself so far up there with other things. I kind of just go with the flow and, you know, just, but the thing that separates me from a place like Things to Remember is that you are getting a personalized touch. I try to connect with every client that I have, whether it's, you know what, making sure that every detail is catered to that person, and making it so easy where you don't even have to leave your house to submit something from me. And I think that's the big thing too, is just, you know, with a smaller business and it's Black owned, you have the ability to kind of get to know the person behind what it is that you're buying and where you're putting your money at. And so I think that's part of the thing that kind of separates me. I think Things to Remember has absolutely amazing things. I have had things made from them, and I'm at no way, you know, discrediting at all. But I will say, you know, the difference is, you know, who is creating the stuff for you. You know that it's taken time out. You know that it's personalized and it's made with love and care. And you see the face of the person. You see the heart of the person. I will hope people that are out there that's watching, or, you know, have even heard my story on different platforms.
Absolutely. And you mentioned being, you know, being Black owned and being a small business. Why would you say it for you? Why is it important to support Black owned businesses?
Oh, it's definitely important because for so long, with everything happening in the world in general and the time that we're in, we have been given the shorter hand of the stick already. Let's be honest.
Hmm.
And so when you have Black owned businesses that are out there, you know, you want to support your own. I'm a Black person. I try to support other Black businesses, but also you want to give them a shot. We already know from history, I'm not going to go through the textbooks, but we haven't always been given the opportunities that some of the other people in different races have. We are not always afforded the education. We're not always afforded the resources. And so most of the time, people like me that had to come up and do it the right way, go to school and do things, you know, of magnitude to be who I want to be in life, it's a little bit easier to support that person because history has always downplayed the Black woman for sure, and the Black man. And so when you have Black owned businesses that's out there that is representing us well, that just deserves a shot, give it, give it, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I couldn't have said that better myself. I feel like it's at least, like you said, make that initial step to give it a try. Like at least give it that try, and then you know you make your assumption or you make your judgment from there. I mean, you kind of we do that in life anyway. Like whether you buying something from Amazon or you buying something from wherever, you know, you give whatever business a try. If you don't like it, you don't go back. And if you do, you then you know you might become a loyal customer. But it's more important to do so when it comes to Black owned businesses.
Absolutely.
So I think,
And
yeah,
it's something about that support, you know, as a culture. There's always so much negative in the press about us as Black people from the things that we've oppressed and had to come over. And so to have the support of each other, to put up that united front together, you know, we're not killing each other. We're starting businesses, we're branding, we're growing, we're doing things the right way together. And
exactly.
so that is definitely my inspiration. I have been trying to you know, make sure that I am supporting Black owned businesses as well. So, you know, once a month or twice a month, I try to figure out who I want to support this month, you know?
Yeah, and it's important, and we got to keep that dollar in our community. I'm no economics professional, but it is important because it doesn't last long in our circle. So the more that we can do
Absolutely.
that, like exactly what you're talking about, the better we'll be overall. And it helps so many different people. Just from the standpoint, you can get what you need, and then me patronizing you, you get money, and that goes into your family,
Right.
it goes into growing your business. So it's important. Like there's it's cyclical, and we need to take that into consideration a lot more. And
Absolutely.
speaking of that, you might have a potential order because somebody asked, they say you do beautiful work. Do you make cufflinks or something that their fiance can have with them at their wedding to honor their father who passed? And I think you got the perfect product for that.
Definitely. I do not have cufflinks at this time, but I'm sure we can work something out to remember that person for your wedding. There's a lot of different things that I do have and some things that I am working on that haven't came out yet. And I'm also open to ideas. So I'm also going to be talking to you soon to see if we can add this to my website. But I want a section where if there's somebody that wants something in particular that's not offered, they can do a consultation with me and say, hey, can you create this? So as of recently, this week, I got an order. I do the 28-inch letters already, and usually I do them filled with pictures. But this person said, hey, I love your work. I want to support your business. I'm doing my sister's baby shower. I really want the full name, 7 letters, but I want them decorated to match the theme without the photos. Is that something you can do for me? And so I did that, and she loved it, and it was great, but it wasn't something that was on my site. And so if you have a suggestion, or you say, hey, Cirea, I love Strode Creations. I love what you're doing. Can we come up with something to do this? Or, I've seen this and I want this. Can you make this? And then we can work that out together. And if I can't make it, I would just tell you, I don't know how to make it. But more often than not, anything I put my mind to, I'm pretty sure I can do it.
I love
I
it.
can do it.
I love the customization piece of it. And it's a few
And
people
I can
watching now.
customize just about anything. So if she did want cuff links, it probably would not be hard for me to do.
Hmm.
We can definitely, send me an email. My email is sales@strodecreations.com, and you can just tag it Black Friday question, and we can work something out together. Okay.
Absolutely. So I hope whoever posed that question, make sure you reach out, and she's gonna get you right, and it's gonna be quality too. I promise you. Uh,
I think we got another question too. I got a text message about a question, but I'm not.
you still there? I think we might have lost her. She went to go check her message. We might. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay.
Yes, I was looking for that question, but that was the question that you just asked me. So great.
What
Can you
what
hear
are
me?
some? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we're
Okay.
good.
I was
Hmm.
saying another question that I had, and you kind of answered it, but I don't know if you some other things might come to mind when I pose it. But what are some creative ways you plan to take your business to the next level? And it doesn't necessarily have to be products. It could be, what do you envision in the future?
Well, one thing for sure that has automatically taken me higher than I expected to go was Restore Wednesday. So I'm not really sure if everyone that's tuned in know what that is. But I do something once a month, and it's called Restore Wednesday. Our tagline is restoring the gift of giving. And so once a month on a Wednesday, I will, post on Instagram, Facebook, and I'll just say, drop your cash app. It's not a certain Wednesday, one Wednesday out the month. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's small, but it's something. So if you know somebody that's struggling financially, or somebody that just needs a little bit of a restore, you can tag them. Or if it's you, don't feel ashamed, you can tag you. And I never post the recipient. I never post who won and how much they won. That information is completely confidential. That person will check their information and they'll see that something came from me. And so with Restore Wednesday, anytime you give, I don't care what it is, it comes back to you. And so I have been very humbled by Restore Wednesday because I'm trying to restore into people, and people have been restoring into me. It's absolutely crazy. And so a lot of other businesses have been jumping on board, like Cirea, we want to be a part of Restore Wednesday. Can I donate the next 3 Wednesdays, or can I send you, this, so that next couple Wednesdays we can do more people than what you had in mind. And it's been such a great thing for businesses that's partnered with me to do that. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. And to the people that have, received it, I've had people message me in tears like, this couldn't have came at a more on time than it did. And so that has definitely pushed me up to deeper than where I intended to go. And that's just touching the hearts of people.
Nice. I love it. I love it. And keep doing it, because I think, like you said, it's definitely going to continue to expand, whether people hop in and contribute along with you, or be able to, do some dope partnerships and be able to make that a part of it as well. And then, next you'll be giving out 60-inch TVs, and I'm going to be the person to ask you for one.
Absolutely. I'm like, Christmas time, I'm ready for Christmas. I want to, people adopt families, churches adopt families all the time. But, just being able to be in that extra support in the communities that I come from, grew up from Detroit, born and raised, shout out to Detroit. And so I want to give back to the community that I grew up in, and the kids. And, that's part of why, going backwards, I got into social work in the first place. I got into the heart of working with the kids and making sure they're safe. And so, just that whole restore, that's a big thing for me. Follow us on Facebook, or even look out for Restore Wednesday. If you know somebody that's been going through, you can even send me a direct message. Hey, I know you haven't posted about Restore Wednesday this month, but I really want you to consider my friend so-and-so. She's a single mom. She's going through, because sometimes that backstory really helps us when we're looking at who we're going to choose. Because sometimes I don't know who I'm going to choose. I just pick. I don't even, I just pick. And so knowing that backstory, if it's somebody it really helps with our decisions on that day.
Absolutely. And Caleb shouted out P-Rock. You from Plymouth?
Well, I grew up over there, but I don't really be claiming it. But yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, because you know the story with me and him. Like, we finding out we basically random relatives, but I grew up like right down the freeway, like off Schoolcraft and Greenfield. That's why it's like so crazy to me.
Okay.
Yeah, because pretty much some of my closest friends, we all grew up like literally in the same like area, like the same section.
But never crossed paths at that time.
Never crossed paths until college, and I regretted it ever since. So one thing that I ask every guest is to kind of talk about 2 different experiences, like just in regards to you being a professional and owning your own business, is to tell us, one, what has been one of your best experiences since you started Strode Creations, and then also what has been one of your worst, because I want everybody to know it's not always sweet. So, definitely give us the good and the bad in owning your own business.
Right. Well, it's, having a business is seriously like having a baby. Nobody really gives you a manual. You go as you go, you learn as you go. And so, I will say one of the most challenging things is, for me, is learning how to, and I'm really good at marketing, trying to post every day and trying to encourage people. But I think one of the biggest challenges for me is to continue to grow on different platforms when it comes to social media. That's been extremely difficult. And then 2, there's so many different creative people out there, and people's hitting me up like, you should go on Etsy and you should do those things. And I decided I opted out of wanting to do that, because I wanted my name and my brand and my creations to stand on its own. And so one of the biggest challenges for me is continuously trying to grow my business and separate from the Etsy shops and, all those other different things. And so people don't talk about that. And the biggest thing too is, like I tell, anybody, multiple people are selling t-shirts, it's how you brand it. It's how you market it. And so just continuing to learn and grow with my marketing and being on top with, posting and tweeting and all those different things. So that's a big challenge for me that I'm continuously overcoming and trying to learn new ways to continue to grow my numbers when it comes to social media. And then one of the biggest wins for me is literally every time I do Restore Wednesday, it comes right back to me. And just so whenever I give away things. So this week in general, I did a 30% off customer appreciation for 3 days. And I got some face masks and I got some hand sanitizers and I have some right here actually. And I was just giving these away as a part of if you decided to order during that time. And so to my surprise, this week, I think within the last 2 days, I had gotten like 7 orders. And it's just so humbling every time somebody purchased something from me because these are your funds. This is your money. You know, you got to trust where you're putting your money at. And so it's just been such a pleasure for me to be starting off so early in the game and to have as many people have ordered as just starting, you know.
Absolutely. And that's dope. Like just being able, like you said, with the Restore Wednesdays and being able to you know, have additional things, you know, of course, like with your brand and stuff like that. I mean, you always got cool stuff. Like I see it all the time. But I think it's great to give people things, practical stuff like that they can use now, especially like, you know, given the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic, which is crazy in itself. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. This is a good vibes session right here. So,
Listen, all the good vibes.
Right.
In the midst of a pandemic, we can still have good vibes.
Exactly. You have to. You have to. So given all the things that you've learned kind of just over the years and then also with Strode Creations, what advice would you have for other Black-owned businesses or Black professionals in general?
I think my big thing is you gotta put in the work. You know, you gotta be dedicated to what you are doing. People can tell when you're not dedicated, and people can tell when your heart isn't in it. And so you really gotta be dedicated to what it is that you're doing, because if you believe in it, other people will believe in it too. And so a big thing is hard work and confidence. You know, that goes together. You gotta be confident in what you're doing. And you got to be able to, you know, take some criticism too. You know, that was my thing. I grew up always wanting everything to be perfect and, you know, wanting to have everything together. But we're not perfect people. We're human just like everybody else. And there's going to be times where challenges come, but you have to rise to the occasion and take that criticism and listen to those people that are wise, that have 7 and 8, you know, businesses prospering, and just roll with the punches. But you definitely got to be confident and humbleness. It pays you nothing to be humble and be thankful and grateful. And when you put those type of seeds out, those type of seeds come back to you.
Absolutely. And do you have like a business mentor or somebody that you kind of aspire to be in regards to business, or like a particular business that you kind of say like, I want this to be that one day?
I actually don't have. I probably should get one of those, but it's so funny because I have a lot of different mentors in my life, and so I'm one of those type of people where I'll see things like good things and qualities in people, and I'll pick that up and put that in my pocket, and I'll pick that up and put that in my pocket. And so there's a lot of different people that have come in my life, even family, that I have learned from, that have inspired me, and they kind of mentor me in their own way. I'm telling you, my family is real, y'all. They're going to tell me the truth. They're going to be like, I don't like that, or you should do this. And it's all good. It's all really, really good.
Got you. So that's all that I have in regards to like the formal questions, but I do a segment that I call this or that, where I ask you got to pick one or the other. It's no extra stipulations or anything like that. You got to pick one or the other, and very simple. So you up for that? You good with that? You good under pressure?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So I give you a layup: love or money?
Love.
Okay. Shout out to love. Now.
Shout out to my man.
Right. Gotta shout out the husband.
Right.
Money or fame?
Money.
Okay. Um, Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Yes, you know the vibes. You know the
Gotta
vibes.
have it.
Would you rather watch TVs or movies?
Hmm. I say TV.
Okay.
That was difficult because I really don't watch TV or watch movies because I'm busy all the time. But
I
TV,
feel you.
baby.
I feel you. Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook. I'm old school, y'all.
uh, Phone call or text messages?
Phone call. Y'all know I'm old school. Phone call. It's more personable. You can't understand or hear that person's voice in a text message.
Right. What about FaceTime?
I'm done with FaceTime.
Okay. All right. So phone calls for sure. The 90s or the 2000s?
90s.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you know better. Absolutely. East or West?
West Side.
All right. So a bonus question I'm gonna ask you, and I just thought about this since we on the topic of Detroit. Number one, very crucial question: do you eat Coney Island?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All
All
day.
right. All right. Thank you. All right. Perfect. Now, number two, what's your Coney order?
It depends on where I'm going to the Coney Island. If I'm going
Mm,
to El George's, I want a grilled chicken salad.
okay.
If I'm going to one on Plymouth or somewhere like that, I want some wingdings or like some chili cheese fries, something like that.
Okay. Nice. I love it. I love it. Um, So tell for the people that's watching, if you have any questions, specific questions for Cirea, want to know more about Strode Creations or anything like that, definitely drop them in the chat or ask in the questions section. But in the meantime, what I'm gonna ask Cirea to do is to tell us what's next for Strode Creations, and then also let us know how people can get in contact with you, how they can order from you, all that good stuff.
So the big thing that's next for me is I am going to continue to increase my products. Like I stated before, we're going to work on having a consulting button for those people that have things that are creative in mind, but they just don't know how to do it themselves and they need a little bit of support. I'm going to be here to take those projects on. And so those are going to be customized projects. So that's going to be a new thing for me. That I'm pretty sure Denzell is going to work on for me on my website to be able to add that feature. And so that's really what's next for me. The big thing I think is we always have to inspire to do something more. And so with Restore Wednesdays, that's just the biggest thing that I want to continue to push and advocate and grow. And I want to have Wednesdays where I'm able to reach and bless and touch 100 people. And so I do believe that I will get there one day.
Hmm.
So that's definitely what's next for me.
Nice. And then where can people find you and get in contact with you?
So you can follow me on Instagram at Strode Creations. I am tagged here. You can also follow me on Facebook at Strode Creations MMP. You will see my logo with the heart in the profile. So you can definitely follow me on there. I do have a Pinterest with Strode Creations MMP. MMP is Making Memories Pop. And some of you guys have been following things on Pinterest and you send things and say, can you create this for me? And that's where that consultant button is going to come in. But you can definitely check out my website to order and purchase. It's www.strodecreations.com. And if you have a specific question or concern, you can email me at sales@strodecreations with an S.com. And I'll definitely be here to answer all of your questions.
Nice. And I have a bonus question for you that I had thought about. How can people thrive in the pandemic? So, like you said, you started your business in the pandemic. You've been growing ever since and doing well. So, what's your advice for how people can thrive in the pandemic?
One way you can thrive is being motivated. You got to be a grinder. That's the one thing that I will say, that from where I come from Detroit, you know, we are the type of people that's going to say what we mean and mean what we say, and we're going to grind. And I mean, legitly, legally, you know, we're going to grind and make it happen. And so part of that is when you believe in yourself and you believe in something that's putting money in your household and that's blessing your family, you're going to work towards that. And so you got to grind. You got to stay focused, you know, stay out the way. It's okay to stay out the way, but you definitely want to post every day or every 2 days. You want to get your name out there. When you do have orders, you want to make every customer feel like they are your very best friend and they're a part of your family. Mm-hmm. People love connections with real people. People want to do business with real people. And so when you make them feel like a person, they're going to continue to come back. And if you're selling t-shirts, make sure you feel like that t-shirt is the best shirt in America. And people they'll get behind you. And so that's the biggest thing. You cannot put any excuses in the way. No excuses. You got to work hard. You got to be about your business. And you definitely got to push yourself. Some days I am tired when it's 3 a.m. and I'm working on a box. But guess what? Somebody trusted me enough to give me their dollars. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to make this the best box that I can do right now. So it's the same way with your business.
Absolutely. And so y'all heard what she said. Stop watching Netflix. Stop chilling on the computer on Facebook all day. If you're going to do it, do it. Get out there, grind, make it happen, and just put it in the work and start. You got to start somewhere. So just make it happen. So thank you, Cirea, for joining.
Eliminate every excuse.
Yes, eliminate every excuse. Cirea, thank you for joining. This has been great. It's always great talking to you. Whether you know it or not, I always learn something new. So I'm grateful for that.
Like the cake spitter.
Exactly. Yeah, that was a nice trick. That was definitely a nice trick. So it's always a pleasure talking to you. Appreciate you stepping in Black Fridays. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to be back with Black Fridays next week and then for the rest of the year as promised. So hope to see you all soon. And thank you all once again.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have a great night. I hope to see you guys following me, tagging, tweeting, emailing. I appreciate it.
Yes, go blow up StrodeCreations.com. Go follow them. Go email them. Say hi. Order something. Do all of that. Do all of it right now.
Yes.
All right. I think you got a couple of new fans. So hopefully they start hitting you up. And Cirea, I'll talk to you soon. Appreciate you again.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.